G-I-G-G-S. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at?
It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I'm a cop a farm and go act up. Like scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up,
Hey guys, I'm Si and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. This is episode number 16. We are live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Ace Podcast Nation, as you know by now, home to many great shows and series featuring top guests, expert analysts and more. So please do give us a follow on social media, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that good stuff really helps us out. Click the bell for notifications so you never miss a thing, like the My Story episode, which is dropping at 9 o'clock this evening after this show. But you can find the audio versions of this podcast and all our other podcasts at the Sports Social Podcast Network, the UK's first dedicated sport and podcast network. You can find this show and all the others. Everything produced by Ace Podcast Nation is there. So no Super Six, Soccer Six, Super Six, Soccer Six, Super Six this week because the games were all cancelled. But really, just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's taken part. I think it's 92 people in total, raising. Let's have a look. What's the final figure? So 92 people have joined the league this season, raised a fantastic £816, which is split equally between Maggie Centre and the Mind Mental Health Charity, which is at the end of the day what it's all about. But the next round is open on Boxing Day at 3 o'clock, and get involved, get your predictions in. Don't forget, I cannot forget anymore because I've got to keep my 20-point lead, my comfort blanket over Rhodri there. Got to keep it going. But as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Ex Salford City winger manager, Mr. Rhodri Giggs. Welcome, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, pal. Yeah, I'm good.
Yes,
you?
mate. Yeah, it's all good, mate. I cannot forget to do my Soccer Six predictions these days because I got to keep that 20-point cushion. Just got to keep it nice and keeps me secure. But it's funny, right? Because people won't know this, but I think it was about 4 weeks ago. You used to text me about 20 to 3 on a Saturday and say, "You've done your predictions?" And then the one week I hadn't, and you reminded me, and I think that was the week I scored like 12 or 13 points or something. And then ever since you messaged me like 20 minutes after the games have kicked off. Just very competitive, really. Just to make sure. But I've been good because I want to keep that cushion, mate. Got to keep that cushion.
Yeah, you need it. You've got a 5-week start.
I know, no. Well, that's it. 5 weeks, 20
you
points.
You seem to forget to start that with that.
Got to add it in, mate. I will add it in at some point. It's just I got to make people believe that I'm 20 points more knowledgeable. But it's fine because once they hear my opinions on football, they realise there must be something going awry with it. But how are you, mates?
Yeah, I'm all good.
So we're settled into our Thursday time slot now. And this is the day it's going to be on now going forward, Thursday, 7:30. So make sure you put it in your diary and all that good stuff. Click the bell for
It's a better
notifications.
day
You'll
for me.
never
I'm
miss
not,
it.
I'm not rushing about at all on a Thursday. Friday, it's a nightmare that half.
It's madness,
I'm
mate.
like,
Friday,
about
isn't it?
I'm like, what rushing about for?
Well, most weeks on a Friday, like you're texting me saying I'm stuck in traffic. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. So at least that takes that pressure out of it, doesn't it?
My little one does football at Old Trafford at 5 till 6. Then I've got to drop him off at Salford, and then I've got to get back to Bolton. So if the traffic's alright, it's no problem. But the traffic, I got minging, pushing it.
Yeah, you got no chance then, have you? Well,
Like
that's what it's about, mate.
like have a nice cup of tea, chill out.
Yeah, that's what you want to be doing, though, isn't it? You want to relax before you you go into it, mate. And look, there's loads to talk about. But you're a United fan, so I wanted to put this question. I saw someone put this question on social media earlier, and they said, if you could only sign one for United, which one would you sign? And it was Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, or Calvin Phillips. Which one would you have and why?
Jude Bellingham, because he is a Rolls Royce of the midfield. He can do both. He can defend. He can go forward, and he can control the game. He's young. He's tall. He's strong. He's powerful. He's quick. Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah. No, I am. I tell you what, though, mate. See, I'm interested by that because I think Jude Bellingham, I was surprised when he didn't go to United because I thought he was the perfect fit for what they need, what they like to sign. Like everything seemed to fit for him, for the club. And I was surprised when he didn't go there. However, when I look at that list and I look at the United squad as it is today, so, not including anyone they may or may not have signed ready for January.
Declan Rice as well. I won't be too upset with Declan Rice. Calvin Phillips, no. Look at where Leeds are. I know he's not playing at the minute, but they're still down there.
I look at all their injury records as well. Calvin Phillips is the one who's picked up a couple of injuries over his career,
and that's because he plays a lot of minutes and probably plays too much. Doesn't have a rest and then runs himself into the ground. Yeah,
they haven't got the depth they at Leeds, so those players like him who are their top players, they're really, really reliant on them, and I can't understand that. But I think Declan Rice is a great fit for United as well. I got to say, because I just look at it, he's phenomenal physical holding midfielder, exactly. But he can pass, he can go do a bit going forward as well. But he can also sit there in front of the defence and do everything they need. He's got that physicality, and also he can play in defence in an emergency as well, and a bit further forward.
I think you might find that he'll pull out someone from Europe that you don't know about, so, and that he's identified and thought, he's a good player, but he's just out of our reach, but not out of the reach of Man United. So look for someone that he's seen, identified around Europe that you probably haven't even heard of, and he'll come in and he'll be what we need. So you just have to wait and see. Because then we're talking about Bellingham now is what, 60, 70, 80 million. Same with Declan Rice. So
see,
if you can pick one up for 20, 25 million in somewhere in Europe, then why would you not do that?
Yeah, I agree. I think I saw an article yesterday saying that basically Ollie's shopping list for January and this summer, they're still going to work off that. But I think it's widely expected that Declan Rice is on that list. And I actually think that Raniak will buy, like you say, a holding midfielder. I think he'll bring someone in from the Bundesliga, most likely, or from France. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bellingham come in the summer, because I think Pogba is going to be off. And I think most United fans would take Pogba going and Bellingham coming in, basically. And I think that's... would you be happy with that if you lost Pogba, but you had Bellingham in as the replacement?
Oh, I'd be out over the moon. Be ecstatic.
Just from an attitude point of view and work rate point of view, it's an improvement, isn't it?
Time, it's probably time to move on now from Paul Pogba. How long has he been there now? Like 5, 6 years?
Well, you said it's 5, 6 years probably, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think he did 5 in a 1-year extension, whatever. But
yes, you have sprinkles of quality, and yes, we know he's a world-class player, but to be a world-class player at Man United, you need to be consistent, and he's just not been consistent enough. Yes, the supporting cast around him hasn't been too great, but you still should show your qualities with the qualities he possesses, and he's just not done that on a consistent basis. So yes, Jude Bellingham coming in would be definitely an upgrade for me.
With the knowledge that Pogba's contract runs out in the summer, would you sell him in January if possible for like 30 million?
Yes, if you could. He's going to go anyway. Just put it into your hands and just
Well, the thing is, I'm sure like the likes of Barca, Madrid, PSG, they'd pay 30 million to have Pogba and not have to deal with the free contract aspect of it. I'm sure Raiola will be, he'll be pushing for a free transfer, but
I'm pretty sure they're going to hold out. They're not daft and people and.
It's pointless in going in January unless
you're gonna get more money. So why would you not wait 6 months?
Yeah, that's it. And
unless you want to play football, but
he's probably gonna play anyway.
But looks like he can play football or he can do other stuff as well.
Yeah, and I guess if he's fit, he'll play for United in some form, even if it's now and again off the bench. That
depends, mate. If he comes in and doesn't put his shift, I'm pretty sure he would do. But you probably see the best of him then. So who knows what you come in and he buys in what the manager's the coaching and instructs him to do, and he buys into it and he works hard. But I just can't see it.
Yeah, I think the only reason I would contemplate selling him in January is because he goes for free in the summer. And I think ultimately, like if he had 1 year left on his contract, you could go to Dortmund or you could go to whoever and you can use him as part of a swap deal or as bait or a bargain.
No, but if a player doesn't want to go, mate, he doesn't have to, he doesn't.
No, I know that. But like just generally, with whoever, innit? Mbappe, there's loads of footballers who are going to be moving around
right
in the summer.
If it's the right move, then I'm pretty sure that he would do that. Yeah, I think it's time to move on from Paul Pogba now. Yeah,
he just hasn't quite done it. It's a shame in some ways because there's been certain games where he's been shown how special he is.
Price tag as well. I'm pretty sure if it was the shoes on the other foot over the other end of the city, Jack Grealish for 100 million, he's not performed to the capabilities that he's performed to.
No,
at the minute. So and he's not getting that much stick. Yes, he's getting stick because dodgy dress sense, but and staying out on a good night. But he's needed probably agree with it. He struggled at the minute, but I think I seen with an interview, but he knows that he's not daft and he can only get better. And he scored on the weekend. I mean, the week before, so to make it 7-0, and then they've got a good win on the weekend. I know he played because that was his own fault because of his late night antics, but he just can't fall into that trap again. He's got out of that trap where he was falling about everywhere, drunk and stuff. You can do that, but you'd be smart with it.
I think I watched a video yesterday come up on my Facebook. It was every Marcus Rashford goal for United since he broke on the scene, and up to like the end of last year. And the season where he was on fire, I think it was Ollie's first season where Rashford just was scoring week after week after week after week after week. I noticed that Pogba was highly involved in a lot of those goals, but he wasn't always playing the final pass, so he didn't get the assists. But he was actually really influential in Marcus Rashford's good run of form. So, like, he has done it, but just not.
You have sometimes, mate. You have good rapport with certain players. It just clicks. It just happens. They're not really growing up together playing, and something just clicks. Paul Pogba is one of them that likes to put his head up early and play the ball forward, and Marcus Rashford likes to get in behind, and he does early runs. So if Paul Pogba sees it, he knows the ball's going to be delivered. Where other players, where Fred gets it, McTominay, Rashford is going to make the same run, thinking is the ball going to get there. So it's the quality of players as well. So if you make the run, it's gonna be there. So and more often than not, Marcus Rashford makes the run, and Paul Pogba directly or indirectly, assists him. So you just have good rapport with players, and they've obviously got a good rapport with each other.
Who do you think or what club do you think is the best move for Paul Pogba? Say he runs down his contract, free transfer in the summer. What club do you think he will flourish at the most?
I think where he seems to be happy. I don't agree with sometimes going back to the club because it doesn't necessarily work. But I think he'd be happy at Juventus. He'd be happy at PSG. Barcelona is an option if it's a free transfer.
I think with Barca, the issue is where will they be, because they are in all sorts of trouble.
They just paid 55 million euros for someone, so they're not skinned.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. So yeah,
I think like Reese said in the chat,
that would be a very good move for him, mate. Very good.
Yeah, like Reese said in the chat there, the slower tempo of Italy probably helped him when he was playing as part of a three. And I think, like Juventus, I think PSG would be quite a good move for him as well.
PSG, but then I think PSG, Barca, and Real Madrid as well. They'll be after him.
Yeah, everyone will want him, mate, and he's going to get paid no matter what. A couple of questions, early doors, mate.
Go on.
So Craig says, should the Premier League return to using 5 subs again, like the big clubs are asking? Would it help with players returning from isolation and injury and things like this?
Yeah. Why not? It gives a chance to younger players to get on the bench and to get a bit of experience. So yeah, it can't do any harm. It can only do good. So yeah. I'd weigh it up, yeah.
And the other question was, Reese's mum says, do you think the COVID vaccines have caused or have anything to do with so many players and athletes around the world collapsing? We touched on this a little bit last week, didn't we?
Yeah, well, you got to look at it. From 2 years on, how many times did people just collapse?
Yeah.
2 years before, say, go 2 years from today and look in the past, how many players just.
You could probably count them on one hand, couldn't you?
Where in the last 2 years, it's been hundreds.
Yeah, all around the world, different sports, American football.
Now, no, I'm not going to say it's the vaccine, but.
I see a lot of people saying it. They could be that they had COVID before. And it's an after effect of actually having COVID, that then they're pushing their body to the limits and all this sort of stuff. But
possibly they might be fit young lads who think they can run it off and they haven't rested properly and it's still on the lungs or whatever. I don't know how it does what it does, but possibly. And
I think
that could be
for me, mate,
it needs investigating and looking into, because it's got something to do with like the COVID or the vaccine. Because it's like I say, 2 years on before, this wasn't happening. I can remember probably happening once or twice. It's happening every week.
I think for me, whether it's got something to do with COVID or COVID vaccines or whatever it may be, there's something going on around the world with professional athletes and amateur athletes at a high level, like college, American football and stuff. Like there's something going on around the world where athletes are collapsing for whatever reason with various issues, breathing issues, blah, blah, blah. So it's got to be talked about, haven't it? You can't just ignore it and say conspiracy theories. Like something's going on.
Yeah, some of these sports are pushed to the limits now. All this science and data and all these gels and stuff that they're taking before games. Red Bull. I was never a big fan of Red Bull. If you can't run about or get Lucozade or any of that crap before a game, it's a football game. Yeah. I don't need no drink to get me up. So I think I'm never really a big fan of them Red Bulls, but that could be a factor as well. Because these players are down in Red Bulls.
Energy drinks, mate. You watch like footballers when you see them, like walking out the grounds on Instagram. They've all got a brand deal with certain energy drinks and stuff. I've never understood why football clubs. There was a period a few years back where they used to dish out Lucozade, like on the sidelines. Like I've never understood that, because like everybody who's been to school knows that the best thing is water, like rehydrate your body and stuff like that. But I don't know.
You can put water and put stuff little bits of
supplements and stuff.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff they use, and
energy drinks.
They do use it because it's Lucozade drinks and Red Bulls. Yeah, and it's
bad for you, mate. I know a few people who drink like with those energy drinks. They get proper like heart palpitations and stuff like that. It's mental, mate. I don't drink them myself, but like my missus used to like them, and she stopped drinking them because they made her feel unwell. It is what it is. I see that then. Big Alan Jones.
Never been a fan. Never really liked Red Bull. Never really liked Lucozade. I would drink now and again, but I don't really like. But I get it probably if I'm playing golf because they sell it at the golf. But that's a black currant one. I won't get the orange one. But it's not never before a football game though.
The big man's in. He says, nice t-shirt, Rod. Funny enough, I got the same one on. Yeah, it didn't know it's mine though, did he? Didn't know it's mine. It's shocking.
Mine is
Disgraceful. No, I said, look, and this is my thing, right? It's like, it's happening. It's a fact that all these athletes around the world in different sports, different places in the world are collapsing, and they have done a lot of them in the last couple of years. So people need to look into that and discuss it and find out what the reasons are behind it. Is it just that like professional athletes are pushing themselves so close to the limit that their bodies are just giving out? But we won't know that if it's not looked into. But what I hate is when someone will say, oh, what's going on with that? And then the automatic thing is a load of people go, oh, conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, just it's happening. Like, so let's talk about it and work out why it's happening, because, no one wants to see like those scenes like we saw with Christian Eriksen in the Euros. That was really distressing to see on TV. And like, no one wants to see that. No one wants to see, what happened to like Marc-Vivien Foé and Fabrice Muamba and all these footballers over the years. But they were like sporadically spread out, like 10 years apart almost. Like, you're talking all of these athletes in the last probably 2 years. So it's a difficult one, mate. But something which needs to be examined.
Definitely looking into.
And then you've got like Aguero's retired, had no issues. I know he had a heart problem as a kid, but like he's had no issues throughout his career. And then all of a sudden, has obviously had to retire. I don't think he was planning to retire because he's just moved to Barcelona. So
you don't move to Barcelona and retire. 33.
No, yeah, and it's difficult, isn't it? But hopefully someone with more.
Something that needs to look into.
100%, mate. 100%. So we're going to talk about the Christmas programme a bit later on, what's left of it, because you've had Liverpool, Leeds, Watford, Wolves postponed because of COVID cases. So there's already a few games dropping. You got to get that, mate. I think the Cardiff game is off on Boxing Day.
Is it?
Yeah. There's
they banned fans down in Wales, haven't they?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
so Swansea.
I was going to come, but I'm not going to come down though.
So Swansea fans, they can't. They're going to travel to Millwall to watch Millwall away. They'll watch Swansea away at Millwall, and then 2 days later they can't watch Swansea in Swansea. It's ridiculous, isn't it? When you think of it like that.
Yeah.
Absolute crazy.
Yeah.
But absolute ridiculous. I can't even begin to get started on Mark Drakeford and all that lot. It's frustrating. So at the moment, just the 2 Premier League games are off. So we'll have a little look at the Championship and the Premier League games. But in the Championship, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games off already, or the Swansea games now off as well. So they will be going to Millwall. But yeah, so we'll have a look at those later. But what I wanted to kind of talk about, mate, is obviously next week, well, hopefully we're going to be talking about the football, which has been on Boxing Day and that. So today, as the last show before Christmas, I wanted to look back at the footballing year of 2021 and pick out some of our favourite moments. So I said, I think I said to you, top 3 or top 5 moments. But we'll end with favourite, if you like, or your best.
Yeah.
So sort of, what would be your fifth, say, or your third?
Third what?
Just moments of the year within football. Like, if you had to pick out sort of five moments that stick out over 2021.
Third moment.
For whatever reason, really, it could be a game, could be a goal, could be a cup winning performance, could be anything, could be the Euros, could be I got to say, for me, Italy winning the Euros was up there. Like, once Wales were done, I really did enjoy watching it. I just enjoyed.
Because you wanted Italy win now because they beat England.
I don't know.
Or a bit of both.
Bit of both, probably. But even before they were playing England, I fancied them, and historically, I like Italy. I just remember watching that Paolo Maldini celebration when I was little, where he just runs off into the corner like this, iconic, innit? And they haven't had the success that they had when I was younger. So to seeing them win the Euros was big for me. I really enjoyed that. That was one of my favourite moments of the year, without a doubt. What about you? Anything spring to mind off the bat?
Probably Wales doing so well after doing so well in the thing, and then having a difficult group, and still leaving it in their own hands.
With the World Cup group you're in?
The World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, that's been a big thing. And on that note, on Christmas Day, there's a little video to about 25 minutes of me and Rhodri talking about the World Cup and World Cup in Qatar, and just having a little sort of preview of that and stuff. So that's out on Christmas Day. Instead of the Queen's speech, watch that. But if you want to watch the full show of that, you'll have to sign up to patreon.com/ACE But I think that Wales group, the group was so difficult, wasn't it? And it just, we talked about it straight after the Euros. It was going to be difficult to get there. And I think when you look at some of the teams we could have got in the playoffs, to get Scotland, yes, it's going to be a very difficult game, but it's in Cardiff. So it's about as good as it was going to get. So I think that's quite a pleasant, a nice moment. Wales, I thought, look, in the Euros, we didn't achieve the success of Euro 2016, and we didn't quite get the same run going and stuff like that. But also, I think under the circumstances, I thought we did all right. Like, we didn't do amazing, we didn't do terrible, we did all right.
I thought we did really, really well, because to get to the semi-final would be a stretch again, because the time when we got that was kind of like an unknown quantity, but now the teams are ready. They know if you don't perform, they can turn you over, and it just didn't happen for them this time round. But they got out of the group, and they give a good account of themselves. It was a good game. Who did they get beat off in? Was it Austria? Who did they get beat off in there?
Yeah, I think it was Austria, wasn't it? It knocked us out, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was
because we beat Turkey, didn't we? Yeah, look, I think there's loads of things you could pull out negative-wise, like some of Page's substitutions and maybe some of the squads and stuff. But ultimately, he was going into that tournament under a lot of pressure for things out of his control, and I thought he did a pretty good job. We didn't play our best, but we also got out of the group, and I think most Wales fans before Euro 2016 just wanted to get out of the group before Euro 2021 or 2020 as it was supposed to be. Like, just if you get out of the group, you're happy beforehand. And of course, once you see the other teams playing and things, and you start thinking, if we played them, we could beat them. I do think probably 7 or 8 times out of 10, a full strength Wales team probably beats Austria. Denmark, it was knocked us out, wasn't it?
Denmark, yeah. Denmark did really well. Denmark did really well, but they got better and better as the tournament went on, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think it's not like a top 5 moment in terms of like, oh, that's amazing, obviously. but something which sticks out from the
Euros. That's why it's free. Number one would be the manager getting sacked, obviously. So yeah.
I think, but like also I think like the Christian Eriksen thing in the Euros sticks out for me. It's not like an amazing moment in the year, of course, but it is something which you remember, and I think everyone kind of remembers seeing it, and everyone was critical of we were critical on our shows that we did after it, like of the TV cameras and all this sort of stuff. And, thankfully, like he's training with his old, like youth side and stuff. And seems to be recovering, not from a football point of view, but just from a human being point of view. Do you know what I mean? Like the man seems to be getting there. Apparently, he still wants to go on and play.
I think in certain leagues he can play in certain leagues he can't.
What, he wouldn't get permission to play, do you mean?
Yeah, no, in Italy, I was reading the other day, for some reason, because he's had something fitted as a pacemaker or something like that, then he can't play in Italian league, but he can play in a different one.
Oh, that's interesting, because who does Daley Blind play for now? He's going back to Ajax, hasn't he? Because he's got one of those mini defibrillator things as well. But, I mean, Italy have had a few players over the years who've had like collapsed on the field and stuff for different reasons, but so I wouldn't be surprised if they've got some sort of rule which means that you can't do it. I think another thing which sticks out for me is Tottenham beating Man United 6-1, because for so many years United have been that team. United Tottenham games, they've always been high scoring, but United have always had the better of Tottenham, always, as long as I can remember. Like there was one year when
the season last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was one year where Tottenham were like 4-0 up or 3-0 up at half time, and they still lost like 4-3 or whatever. Like United had the upper hand for so long.
5-3. Is it 5-3?
5-3, yeah, I think it was, yeah. But it was just Tottenham just couldn't, even with like a few goals head start, couldn't see him off. So that was a massive one, I think, which sticks out. That's probably the last time Harry Kane put a shift in as well, mind. But Bag did 2 goals, didn't he? Song as well. But it's like Aston Villa stuck 7 on Liverpool, didn't they, at one point?
Yeah.
What about the protest? Was that this year? Like this calendar year when
it was,
the Old Trafford protest?
Yeah, it was.
Against Liverpool, yeah. Like that sticks out for me because that was
the Super League would stick out, if anything, if you think about it.
The Super League, sorry, the Super League farce, mate, when they over it came and it was gone
from the billionaires.
Yeah, and it was gone in like 48 hours. It was done.
Promptly.
Not quick enough, mind, but it'll be back, mate. It'll be back.
No, he's got no chance. He's got no chance.
No
relegation. That's how they play it over there. We don't do that over there. This relegation is part of the drama as well. It's all part.
So what's that in the MLS?
No, MLS, NFL, NBA. They all do it.
Well, there's no relegation.
On a playoff system, don't they? No one gets relegated. No one gets. It's the same teams.
All right. So there's just one league.
And the worst teams get the early draft, and the best players from college. That's how it works.
So there's only one league then, I take it in there.
Well, NFL, yeah, but there's all different leagues for different conferences, but there's only 4 teams in each league, and that league stays the same every year. It doesn't change. No one gets relegated.
See, to me, that takes away the sporting aspect of it, and I know like the playoffs and stuff are massive in America.
Well, it's different over there because they've only got 32. I think there's 32 now. Where football league is 92 clubs, 91 clubs. So, and you've got some big nation league teams as well. So,
yeah. Bit mad though, isn't it? America, the size of America, they've only got 32 teams or whatever it is. Like it's crazy that is, mate. Isn't it? You go drop a pin on Manchester, and there's like 10 teams within a few miles of each other, isn't it?
Yeah, Bolton, Oldham, Rochdale, City, United.
FC United, Salford City.
County. Salford City, SC United. There's 9.
It's,
and you've got the outskirts around the outskirts. You've got Tranmere. You've got Accrington Stanley. You've got Burnley, which is around the corner. Bury as well, in this very out. So yeah, you've got a few.
Yeah, it's a weird one as well, isn't it? Like, obviously, at the start of this year, was when Christmas last year, there was no fans in stadiums, and there's talk of that returning now. And obviously in Wales, there is no fans in the stadiums at the moment if there's games on. Like, I didn't think we'd be in the same position or going back to that position a year later. Did you?
Well, the pandemic has obviously not worked, so I don't know.
Yeah, you conspiracy theorists, see? Like you, conspiracy theorists.
No, I don't know. It's just
didn't think we'd be going back.
I don't watch any of this news anymore. It's just,
no, me neither.
Yeah, it's just. I
find it depressing, mate.
Yeah, just try and be wary. Try and just you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
There you are. Officially, I have not got the worst geography within the show. Donna says, I never knew Accrington Stanley was in Manchester. I thought it was in Liverpool. There we go.
No, it's not in Manchester. Accrington Stanley's it's probably
on the
Burnley.
Outskirts, isn't it?
It's near Burnley, so it's about 15, 20 minutes away. No, but it's the other way to Liverpool. She's thinking of the old Ian Rush. Accrington Stanley, you were there. She's thinking of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ian Rush drinking his milk. Yeah, but that's Accrington Stanley's near Burnley. Freezing.
Who was better for you, Ian Rush or Mark Hughes? Who would you take in at their peak? And you could only have one of them. Who you having?
That's a difficult question, Matt.
I think it's a phenomenally very difficult question.
It depends what team you've got. To be honest, it depends what team you've got. If you've got one where you want someone who's going to be running behind, who's going to be scoring a lot of goals, then Ian Rush. But if you want someone who's going to hold it up and score, hold it up and get in behind and do, probably Mark Hughes. But it depends what kind of team you've got, because they're
Sparky, massively underrated footballer, mate.
Mark Hughes was a good goal scorer, but Mark Hughes was a goal scorer of great goals. Ian Rush was just a goal scorer.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Ian Rush doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Goals. Like volley goals or his goal in the final. Goals, you think about that goal in the final where he just pinged it along the floor. It's so hard to do that when you're running on the side and then you're just trying to ping it, but he's like daisy cut
outside of his right foot as well, isn't it?
It was not really outside the foot because it's gone straight. It's like he's pinged it and daisy cut it, but he's running at the side to do it. You don't know how difficult that is. Under pressure, in a final, great goal. And Sparky scored. There's so many great goals he scored. So many great goals. But Ian Rush was a good goal scorer as well. But he wasn't a goal scorer of great goals. Sparky.
Yeah, Ian Rush he's a poacher, mate, wasn't he? He's
but 2 out of 3 of Mark Hughes' goals were all
bicycle kicks.
Bicycle kicks, volleys. Just great goals.
He was when I was younger, when I'd practice volleys and stuff, to me he was like the king of the volley, because you'd never see him slice a volley or miss kick it, or it was always he did it perfect, ping it.
Some people just have that. Paul Scholes, when he was outside the box, you knew he was going to be scoring or going to be working the keeper. He never missed the target, never.
The Welsh Gary Lineker. There we go. Don't know if that's a compliment or not.
He was better playing Gary Lineker.
Yeah, I think. Do you know the other thing as well? Leicester winning the FA Cup. I thought that was good.
Yeah. Villarreal beating United in the final. That was an upset.
That was a big upset because I think everyone thought once they got to the final, everyone assumed that they beat Villarreal.
The team with a yellow kit. Come on.
I was thinking. But even when it went to penalties, you still expected United to win, didn't you?
Yeah, shouldn't have gone to penalties.
Messi leaving Barcelona has got to be up there, mate.
Yeah, that's up there. Yeah, That's up there.
And
Ronaldo
then playing against
United.
them. Yeah, Ronaldo
United. You know, coming back home where it all started. You know, so it's been a lot when you delve into it.
And like Messi, it was mad to me was the other week when we were looking at the Champions League games and you had Messi and Ramos lining up against Real Madrid or who was it? Yeah, it was Madrid, wasn't it? PSG played in the Champions League.
No, they played Barca. Sorry, it's not come up yet, has it?
All right. When were we talking about it? Oh, we were talking about it when the draw came out. Was it? My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah. Next
got you.
Come on.
Yeah, so that's gonna be crazy, that isn't it? Seeing Ramos and Messi together against them is.
Yeah, I think Ramos. Oh no, that's not Ramos is on Messi's side, isn't he?
But do you think if like, so who is it? Is it Barcelona?
Ramos is a winner, so it'll be the same antics, just a different team.
Yeah, he'd be backing Messi up, wouldn't he? When they start giving Messi a bit of physical.
Yeah, he'll know who he can wind up and who he can knead on. But they'll know him as well. So
saw Ronaldo do it to Rooney in a World Cup, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they did it. It's funny when you look back at that. People slated Ronaldo obviously for it and all that, but like he got Rooney sent off because that was kind of like his thing to do, wasn't it? But that season, the following season after that World Cup, them two together were absolutely unplayable.
And Tevez as well.
Yeah, well, they had a phenomenal forward line, didn't they?
Brilliant. Yeah. They were unstoppable.
Yeah, Tevez and Rooney pressing from the front as well.
Yeah, they're unstoppable.
Just unbelievable.
Just two rats just chasing you, but absolute world class on the ball. In all aspects. So yeah, it was a good team. Then you had Berbatov on the bench who come on to mix it up.
Crazy. Mate, Berbatov, proper underrated footballer mind as well in my eyes.
Really good player.
I thought he was so talented, and I think it's a shame in some ways that he didn't get his big move to like a big club until he was sort of in his twilight years.
All right, yeah. No,
because
he was a good player.
I think he was so good. It would have been nice for him to get that move when he was in his peak. Like, don't get me wrong, he did all right, but do you know what I mean? Like, if he had been able to play that for a Champions League team like United or whoever at his absolute peak, because he used to remind me of Cantona, just the way he used to swagger about. Like Reese has just said there in the chat, Berbatov's first touch was just. It was immense, like a thing of beauty. Every time, just kill the ball dead. Who's the best first touch you've ever seen on a consistent basis?
Best first touch?
Because I've seen people like Rashford have touches which are out of this world as first touch. But then the next week, he can't control the bloody
best touch.
2-yard pass.
There's a few. There's a few. Berbatov, the touch was brilliant. Mark Hughes, you'd never get the ball off him. His touch. Paul Scholes, his first touch was where I can touch it into a space where he can deliver a pass But
Messi, gotta be up there.
But who was gonna say that? It was someone else.
I think Messi's got to be in with a shout. He's got to be in that conversation at least. His first touch is pretty immense, like because he's learned over the years from being a kid.
Oh, that's the best one I've ever seen at Old Trafford was Zinedine Zidane. Like Juventus, the game, a full 90 minutes, and he did not give the ball away. It was just an absolute masterclass. And yes, Zinedine Zidane was the best I've seen.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to argue with that.
It was like I was just like watching that. Just
I always thought Van Persie
just gliding across the grass, both feet, 6 foot odd, big, tall. It wasn't rapid, but could still run, and just silky. You just have to watch him to see it. It's just what's the word?
All right, then. So here's another question for you, then, mate. You can only have one. Absolute at their peak. Zidane or Paul Scholes, which one you have in your team? Loving these questions now. off the
That's a
cuff?
difficult question. That's a difficult question as well.
It's so hard, isn't it?
I'd probably take Paul Scholes.
See, that's mad, isn't it? Like, we all know how Zidane is like one of the best ever, but I do believe Paul Scholes is one of the best midfielders ever either as well. And I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
People forget Paul Scholes was a goal scoring midfielder late in the box.
Yeah, he scored loads of goals.
And then just switched to a quarterback pinging it 80, 60, 70 yards right in your path, wherever you are on the pitch. Control the game. 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's not. You can't keep it. His first touch, so literally, as soon as you know where he is, the ball's played to him, touch, by the time you looked around, his first touch is immaculate. It's bing! And then he's off again. This is why, the stories like 5, 6 sides in training. You want to be on Paul Scholes' side, you never get beat.
Interesting, and the chat is divided. So Reese says, different players for me. Zidane was a great box-to-box man. Scholes was a great deep-lying playmaker for me. Will says...
but I'm saying, like I said, though, Paul Scholes wasn't always that player. Paul Scholes was 20 goal a season, late in the box, scoring goals, and then halfway through the season, he switched.
Yeah.
And gone
Will
to
says,
the best passer in the league, bar none.
Yeah. Will says it's not even a debate. Zidane all the way. Donna says Paul Scholes for me. Craig says Paul Scholes for United, not Paul Scholes for England. Cade says Paul Scholes' goal against Bradford was a rocket. So slightly more people said Zidane. More people have gone for Scholes than Zidane, but the few who've gone for Zidane have been quite adamant that it's not even a comparison. So that's kind of interesting.
I think you find it is because when the great man's saying to him, the players that he admired, and Paul Scholes is one of them, and that tells you everything. He doesn't say that about everyone. He said it probably about 1 or 2 players, and Paul Scholes is one of them.
Reece says he hates to say it, but one of the greatest passers of the game is David Beckham. There was a video thing before, a highlight reel of an AC Milan game, and honestly, he dictated the game. Very rarely did you see David Beckham misplace a pass.
David Beckham was a central midfielder. It's just the world class of him. He could play on the right midfield, and he had the best cross in the ball. It's just unfortunate. We had Brian Robson, Roy Keane, Paul Ince, Nicky Butt. They were all better midfielders. So, yes, he played there, and he played there a few times. Played there against Tottenham, he scored a goal. He played there in the Champions League final when we had injuries. It was him and Nicky Butt, Arke on the right, Blomqvist on the left. So he played there in big games as well. So he can play there, and he was just as good as Paul Scholes to me, passing. He was just as good. He would have a different flight though than Paul Scholes. He could ping it a different. You just had to watch it. If you watch him over the years, you see it. Bex could ping it at like a 20-yard and just go. Where Scholes is more
on a sixpence.
Scholes is more well, both on a sixpence, but Paul Scholes is more of a 6-iron. Where his was a ping. They could both ping it, but there was different flights. But both world class passes of the ball, and obviously
I always remember, like David Beckham, like he would change the way United, like he would just change the whole period of a game because they'd have it on one side, it would be quite condensed and cluttered, and then suddenly he would just spray it all the way over to Ryan on the left, and it was gone. The game had changed.
Very much back lift. You could just whip and just so you could do it. Like I say, with not much back lift, so he could string it, like you say, from one end to the other, or one side to the other. And yeah, he's seen it for years. He did it for years. Even as a young lad, when I used to see him watching the academy and to watch him, he was a good player. But Nicky Butt was the up and coming one. Nicky Butt was the one that was thinking going to be the next Brian Robson. But
strange now how things turn out. Donna says, I wish David Beckham had gone into management and not disappeared to America. So I'll ask you this, Rhodri. Do you think David Beckham would have made a good manager?
No.
Too much going on off the pitch,
yeah,
you reckon?
He's not doesn't seem that type of character. No. Yeah, no. Not for me. great captain, one of the best captains you ever see. You know, great leader, but a manager with his lifestyle and the way he likes to do lots of other stuff. No, because you know, being a manager, it's all in. 24/7.
Yeah, you got it every day, all day,
he's
innit?
got 4 kids. You know, does what he wants. You know.
Reese says we've had some great players over the years in midfield. Pirlo, Seedorf, Kaka for a few years at Milan, Zanetti in midfield, Ronaldinho, all great passers, great midfielders. How could you just pick one? Well, that's the game. You've got to pick one. But the Will says World Cup, Euros, titles, cups in multiple countries. Scholes was world class, but Zidane was better, in my opinion. Well,
what it's all about. Opinions,
mate. That's it. Opinions.
Scholes is the best player I've probably seen play for United, but Zinedine Zidane was probably one of the best players I've ever seen play at Old Trafford. So him and Fat Ronaldo were just different leagues. When I'm seeing Ronaldo, he'd come on 1999, he was playing in the quarterfinals of Inter Milan.
Unplayable against United, he was that day.
He was just coming back from injury, so.
Is that the one where he scored like 2 or 3 goals, or was that a different game?
No. He come back from injury, and I think Ventola or someone scored. United beat him 2-1 or beat some at Santiago. But no, he come on in the second half, and he was just frightening, and we just held out. But yeah, he was frightening. Then we seen him again when he played at Real Madrid at Old Trafford when he scored an hat-trick. So yeah, it was Barthez threw a couple in that night.
As usual.
I don't think he scored them goals, but still a great player. Yeah, him and Zidane. Paul Scholes won't look at a place in any team.
Indeed, mate. Who's the worst goalkeeper?
In my 11, easy.
Yeah. I think maybe next week we'll do we'll do an all-time 11 just for a bit of fun, and we'll see who gets in and who doesn't off the top of red. But who's the worst goalkeeper, mate, that you've watched the United in all the years? Taibbi was pretty bad, wasn't he?
Shocking.
Like, he was just embarrassingly bad. But there's been a couple, haven't there? Like Jim Leighton had his moments. Barthez, mate, I think got away with it for a little while.
He did get away with it.
Pretty terrible.
He had that French team, and yeah, he did get away with it because he was no bigger than me. I'm 5'8". He was no bigger than me. I remember seeing him and I was thinking, no way, you're a keeper. He was going outside.
He had agility.
And his Marble Lights, that. He was, no way was it, but we're World Cup winner.
Jesus. They but then they've had other times where they've had like 3 keepers who were all first team level. Like I remember there was a point where they had Anders Lindegaard, who I always thought was pretty good, Ben Foster and Van der Sar, like all at the club at the same time.
And Tim Howard.
Yeah, and Tim Howard. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible array of
Matt
keepers.
Posnich, he was a good keeper. He just couldn't kick it.
Yeah, he unfortunately.
The problem United had, straight away after Schmeichel, they should have just gone and got Van der Sar.
Yes, of course they should.
They messed about, and then 3 years later they ended up getting him. They should have just got him, because Van der Sar, for me, was just as good as Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah, I think he's so underrated, Van der Sar. The thing with Bosnich was he was really good, but you could see at United, he was like, he's just a bit of a loose cannon. There was something going on. And obviously, as soon as he went to Chelsea, he got done, didn't he, for the old marching powder?
Well, I know Matt Bosnich. I know Matt Bosnich, yeah. So I knew him when he was at United the first time. I understood. I got to know him the second time.
Yeah.
He needs some colourful people, but that didn't affect
Everyone
his game.
Mistakes,
What affects his game? He couldn't kick the ball.
Yeah. Good keeper, mate. I remember being really excited when he signed from Villa. I was really excited because I thought he was exceptional. But who else is there? Brad Friedel, mate, good keeper. I always thought he was one of the best around, like Premier League keepers. But obviously, when we're talking about world-class midfielders, from over the years, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Tim Sherwood, one of the best to ever play the game. Obviously, like his passing ability, he's taken his knowledge into his punditry. He's a phenomenal pundit and footballer. Absolutely, Tim Sherwood. I think we should dedicate the whole show to him. Fucking bell end. Sorry, I had to slip out in there. Smog on the Tyne asks, when's your brother due in court? January, isn't it?
Somewhere in January.
January, isn't it? I think it's
January. I think it's my sister's birthday. It is somewhere
is
in
it really?
January. Yeah, 23rd or 24th. I can't remember. 23rd or 24th. I think it's 24th.
Brutal. Yeah. What will be, I guess. But Reese says, Figo, Rivaldo. If you forgive Rivaldo's antics at the World Cup where he said it at his face and all that, is he up there? That was just embarrassing, mate. I thought.
He was some player in at Barcelona. Remember when we like, I think it was 3-0 up in the new camp, and he got an overhead kick in the last minute of the game to make it 3-3. Yeah, he's some player in.
Yeah,
he's Brazilian. You're gonna get them antics from them, lot.
Yeah, when he was in his pomp, when he absolute peak at Barcelona, he's
unplayable. One of them players that are unplayable.
Yeah, well, that's what I was on about Fat Ronaldo. Like I remember watching him against United. I think it was when he was playing for Madrid, but it might have been at Inter. And I just remember it was at Old Trafford, and he scored a hat-trick. And that night, no one could get near it. Every time the ball went through to him, none of the defenders could get a ball off him. None of them could get near him. He was just unplayable. And I just remember watching.
And he got a standing ovation by everyone.
Yeah, from the United fans. Yeah, it was just phenomenal. And obviously, my last memory of him as a footballer is when he didn't play in the World Cup final. Didn't he have a seizure or something like that?
No, he did.
He did play.
He did play.
He didn't, did he?
Yeah.
He didn't.
He did. That was the problem.
Right before.
He's had a seizure. Something's happened. He's out of the game. And then an hour before kickoff, he's back in the team and he's playing.
Right, okay. Mandela effect. See, we remember it differently.
And he was rubbish. Well, it was all like sponsors, Nike. It seemed
they were putting pressure on him. Like, can you imagine that?
Yeah, he was with Roberto Carlos. I think he was with Roberto Carlos, and he started having a seizure, and like they took him to hospital, blah blah blah, and then he's ended up coming back, and he's back on the team sheet.
See, that's a weird memory because I just thought he got pulled for
1998. No, 1998. Is it 10?
I just pulled up an article. Someone 442 have written an article that says what really happened to Ronaldo before the 1998 World Cup in his own words.
I've seen a program of it. I can't remember, but he had there was something wrong. He had a seizure. I think he was with Roberto Carlos. He was with someone at the time. And they're like, fucking hell, what's going on here? And he's obviously took him to hospital, and they thought, right, he's not going to be playing, and he's not named in this team sheet. And then is he playing? Is he not playing? And then it comes on the TV. Oh, yes, he is named in the sheet. He's playing.
Yeah, but they're like those Nike people. It says those Nike reps. The Nike reps were literally around him 24 hours a day because he was their big guy, wasn't he?
He was big then. So, and the Nike boots were just going off. So, yeah, and obviously Brazil
World Cup final.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on him, but he didn't perform. He was rubbish, and France won. Zidane got a couple, I think. Headers.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Did he score a volley? His second goal. Zidane's second goal.
It might have been a volley, yeah. A volley and a header. It might have been. I'm pretty sure it was 2 headers. I'm not sure. It might have been a volley as well. I can't remember. I'm not sure.
In fairness, mate, I was like 10 or something. No, I wasn't.
No, I'm pretty sure it was 2 headers.
98. I was 16, 17. Jesus. Yeah, Craig says Si likes Tim Sherwood as much as Rhodri loves Lee Sharp. Yeah, they're both balanced. I got nothing against Lee Sharp. Don't know him. Never met him. Is where it is. David Ginola, how good was he?
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good.
So, Reese says David Ginola was at that final, and apparently he was fuming he wasn't picked to play for France in that tournament. And Gary Lineker said he was fuming, and when the cameras came on, he was like lovely and friendly, but off camera he was proper.
Who cares? He won.
And happy. Yeah. But I think he felt he deserved to be there, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but they won.
Yeah, I think that he's got less of a thing than me. Yeah, they got less of a thing to moan about it, haven't you? If they win the whole tournament.
Sometimes you see these teams and who they have on the bench and they don't get games. It doesn't work out. Sometimes the international teams that it does in the teams they play in week in, week out.
I'm gonna have a look for that Ronaldo documentary about the World Cup final in 1998. That sounds like a good one, that does. And if there's not one, I'm gonna make one myself. What about best left back that you've ever witnessed play?
Easy, Ashley Cole.
Yeah, I think he's got to be up there. There's not many. I can't think of anyone who's better off the top of my head. Maldini was left back.
Maldini, yeah, but Premier League.
Those two names, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you've got to dig to
the Maldini. Decent. Argentina, very good. Dennis Irwin, yes, but he's right-footed. Yes, he could play there, but he was more of a right back. He played there because he could.
Yeah, he just played left back, didn't he? Well, they moved Dennis Irwin to left back.
Gary Neville come in the scene.
Once Gary Neville come in, didn't
left, yeah.
What does Ashley Cole do now? He does punditry, doesn't he? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time though.
No.
Doesn't do like coaching or anything, does he?
I don't know.
Don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'd have to look. I know I've seen him on some of the international games.
TV and some Sky Sports games, and still a bit of punditry.
Gareth Bale was left back for Spurs when he first went there. Don't know if I'd put him up there with the world's greatest. But
not left back, is it?
Is Gareth Bale's run for Spurs, like his run of form for Spurs, the season before he went to Madrid, was up there with one of the best seasons in terms of form? Like, he was phenomenal. So I remember that game when Harry Redknapp was manager of Spurs. I think it was against Madrid, possibly, when they were 2-0 down.
When you do that, though, you expect to win something at the end of it.
Yeah, and they never quite got there, did they?
Yeah. So it just puts a down on it because yes, it was a great season, but okay, what did you get out of it? Well, nothing. Personal accolades.
Well, what he got out of it was a move to Madrid, mate. I think is
true. And that went into 3 Champions League or 4, whatever we end up in.
Yeah. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, mate. I think. What about Paul Parker? Was the right back before Gary Neville, wasn't he?
Paul Parker, very good, very, very. But Paul Parker could play centre half as well. He had a very good leap, even though he was small. He played there for England as well. So he could play centre half as well. Pardon?
Only tiny, isn't he?
Yeah, he was tiny, but he could play centre half as well. Very good. Gary Neville was a centre half in the academy growing up, but then he moved to right back. But yeah, he could play right back or he could play centre half. Very, very quick, and then a good leap on him, even though he was small.
I always liked Steve Bruce. I did. It's just as a player, like he scored so many goals.
Steve Bruce was very good, but the partnership is what made it. Then and Palace was so different. It complemented each other so well.
Steve Bruce, he used to score so many goals for a centre half. He used to take the penalties though as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think was the other thing.
But he's got a nose for a reason. He sticks his head anywhere.
Yeah. I was wondering, how many goals do you reckon he scored in his career, Steve Bruce?
Oh, he scored a few for United. I reckon he scored at least.
So he scored 81 goals in 737 appearances, but he scored
maybe 50 for United then.
He scored 36 for United in 309 games. For a centre half,
Dennis Irwin scored a lot of goals for United as well, though.
But Steve Bruce also scored 29 in 200 for Gillingham in his first club.
You get that centre half to a goal scorer. John Terry scored a few goals in his career. You get that if you're going to be brave and stick your head in. you're going to get rewarded. And then to raise...
Who rates John Terry mid?
Yeah, for what he possesses, he's not quick. He's not. He's a great. People underestimate his passing ability with both feet. Deceptively.
Would you have him or Ferdinand?
Reading the game, you've got to admire it because he's reading the game because he wasn't the quickest. So, yeah.
Would you have him or Ferdinand?
Do I like him as a person? I don't really know him, so I can't remember him.
Him or Ferdinand, if you had to pick?
Real Ferdinand's the best centre half I've ever seen. Easy.
In England or anywhere?
Easy, yeah. Him and Yapstam.
Yeah, Yapstam's pretty good.
That's interesting. Tony Adams as well, very good.
So if you were picking an all-time 11, mate, Real Ferdinand's in that team for you then?
Yeah.
Ahead of Sergio Ramos, ahead of...
With an IQ contest, he wouldn't be on it.
Yeah.
But
so he'd be ahead of the likes of... I'm trying to think of some centre-backs now from over the years. Be ahead of Ramos, be ahead of Piqué.
Ramos?
I don't know, I'm just trying to think of centre-halves, and I literally can't think of any.
Piqué, no.
I was just trying to think of Barcelona. Mascherano.
Company.
Yeah. You'd have Ferdinand over all them. I can't think of any centre halves. Just driving me
I would if I'm picking my
Franco Baresi. There we go.
If I'm picking a team, I'm picking a team with 3 centre halves, and I pick Company, Terry, and Rio Ferdinand.
Interesting. So you'd have no you'd have no Nesta. You'd have no Franco Baresi.
He's talking of Premier League, wasn't he? Or are you talking worldwide?
Just worldwide. I was interested how highly you
rated worldwide, Rio Ferdinand and Franco Baresi. That's it. That's all I need.
That's it. You don't even need fullbacks, mate. Don't even need fullbacks.
Franco Baresi is brilliant.
Who do you think's the best keeper ever from anywhere? Cannavaro is another good centre half.
Yeah, but he was a midget.
Who's the best keeper ever for you?
You got to look at Buffon.
Michael. Neuer, yeah.
Petr Cech gets slept on. He did so well.
Yeah. Do you know with Neuer, for some reason, I feel like he got found out a little bit towards the end of his career. Oliver Kahn, mate, I think. He's got to be up there. Yeah. Donna, you can't be serious. Donna's just put Bruce Grobbelaar. Not having that whatsoever.
Donna's obviously enjoying the festive.
The wine and cheese.
Yeah. Some one of them Tory parties, cheese and wine.
No, I think Oliver Kahn was right. He's right up there for me. Thought he was a phenomenal goalkeeper.
He's all right.
But
German though.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think who else is there. Yeah, like the 3 which stand out for me was the 3 we just said was Schmeichel, Neuer, and Buffon. But then you've got like Oliver Kahn, Cech, and a few others who sort of aren't far off. Van der Sar's up there.
Van der Sar, yeah, definitely up there. Definitely.
Neil Alexander, obviously.
There's a few that we probably missed. Zuba Zubaretta was a decent.
Yeah, Neville Southall.
Neville Southall was world best at one point.
Yeah, he's a very, very good keeper. Right, let's have a quick little look at the fixtures for Boxing Day, mate, and then we'll bid farewell to the peeps, as it were. So what does your Christmas Eve look like, mate? What are you going to do tomorrow? David Seaman, Donna says.
David Seaman.
So her suggestions were David Seaman and Bruce Grobbelaar. Shocking.
I'll do the podcast. I'll call you back.
Oh, so I forgot what I asked you now. Nope, he's gone. He'll be back now. Yes, I won't forget Middlesbrough, Leslie. Don't you worry about that, my friends. Neil Alexander, yeah, one of the best keepers Cardiff have ever had. Kept us in so many games, did Neil Alexander. Is unreal. Neil Alexander was phenomenal for Cardiff. Do you know what did I ask you, mate? When I said, "Oh, we'll have a look at the fixtures," and I said, and then I asked you a question. I can't think what it was. I don't know. Right, so we got very quickly. We'll just have a look at some of these. I don't know. I can't remember.
What's me New Year? What's me Christmas Eve?
Like? Oh yeah, what's Christmas Eve like for Rhodri Giggs? Stressing, running around everywhere, or chilled out?
No. Christmas Eve usually I do on the shop on Christmas Eve, but I've usually Christmas Eve I like to do it on Christmas Eve and get it all done. But as you get older, you get wise and you get this, you get that, and you get this. So I've done everything today. That's it, done.
Like it, mate. Like it.
Yeah,
my missus has been on fire. She's wrapped everything.
Experience as you go on.
Yes. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird this year for me. What? No believers in my house.
So you can still, sit down and have a glass of wine and watch your Christmas movie, though. No,
yeah, but I think, do you know what? I'm sure I heard a conversation between the kids earlier and my missus said they want to watch the Matrix trilogy tomorrow, so I'm quite looking forward to that.
There you go.
Because the first Matrix film is in my top 3 films of all time, my favourite, so looking forward to that.
All right, okay.
Maybe they'll let me go to the cinema to watch the new one then as well.
Nice.
But the question everyone wants to know, mate, is have you seen the new Spider-Man film?
No.
Do you know what happens in it?
No. I don't want to know.
No. I'll make sure.
I was going to go watch it with my lad, but I didn't go. I'm probably going to go. Might go tonight, actually. There's an 11 o'clock showing at night, so I might go.
I said that to my missus the other night. It was like 12 o'clock. I was like, is there like a 2 o'clock showing at the cinema? Because I was just going to go over there, like, just watch it with no one in there. Spider-Man.
I've done that a couple of times. I've done that a couple of times when I first moved down to London. I went to Greenwich and the cinema's on my own, and then I've done it somewhere else as well. Where else have we done it?
Yeah, I want to watch Spider-Man and I want to watch Matrix, and I'm finding it increasingly more difficult to avoid spoilers, mate, because everybody's talking about them, so I constantly have to just like get out of there.
Decent. Might have to catch up on the Matrix though.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the trilogy tomorrow, I think, and then finish off. We always watch Elf on Christmas Eve as well. So we'll have some movies tomorrow. I think we're having Mexican in the night. Gonna watch Elf and have a Mexican. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that indeed. Right. Burnley Everton, mate. How'd you see that one going?
Pardon?
Burnley v Everton.
Is that tonight?
No, Boxing Day.
All right.
Just have a quick run through the Boxing Day ones, mate. Don't have to give like
all right.
big thing.
Burnley, Everton. That's Burnley. Burnley.
Yeah, it's at Burnley. Yeah.
Burnley struggling. Need a result, and I'm going to go sneaky feeling for Burnley. Burnley 2-0.
Oh, Will just said it's been called off, mate. Jesus, they're dropping.
What, Burnley?
More and more. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. But it's still up on the fixtures. I think Everton will win. Everton being quite good, but it looks like they're off. Hopefully the Super 6 will be working very quickly. And
3-1.
Norwich, Arsenal.
2-1, Arsenal.
Oh yeah, I think Arsenal got that. Tottenham Palace.
4-2 Tottenham.
Oof. Yeah, Tottenham. Have you noticed how they've been sneaking up the league? Tottenham have. I noticed that earlier on. They're like right up there again.
And they've got about 3-4 games in hand as well.
Yeah. Conte is going to do something special. Always said he was a good manager.
West Ham are back to West Ham 1-0 home win
to Southampton, and then you got Villa, Chelsea, mate.
I'm going to go 2-1 Villa.
Interesting. I'm going to go for a Villa win as well. Brighton, Brentford.
2-2. Go, Joe.
I think Brentford got that. Will win that one. What about, is there no United game? Is there on Boxing Day?
It's Monday. Newcastle away.
Okay. Oh, that's a brutal one, isn't it? After Christmas.
8 o'clock Monday night football.
So Cardiff game's off.
We always, right? I'm not being serious now, right? There must be something that happens, because when I was growing up and I used to watch United year in, year out, every Christmas or early January you'd be at Newcastle, and you leave there not feeling your toes.
Yeah.
It is freezing. Because Newcastle, it's like in the city, it's on the top of a hill, and Newcastle's a big stand, so you're up there.
Yeah, the away fans are right up the top as well, aren't they?
Oh, it's freezing. But every time, I remember going to watch, we were there on Boxing Day. This was like 98, 99, and we're driving back, playing Sunderland, and we're driving back, and no heating, and there's flipping one of the windows is broken, it won't shut properly. Oh, it was, it's literally just like on the back seat, he's in the car. It was minging. Took us about 3 hours to get home. We got home about like 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it was angry. It's always freezing. We always seem to play in the northeast this time of year. I don't know why.
Well, and for Leslie, Middlesbrough versus Nottingham Forest.
Middlesbrough versus Nottingham.
I'm going to go with a 2-0.
1-0.
2-0 Borough.
1-0. Forest are doing well as well at the minute, aren't they?
Yes.
He's starting to turn around.
Benjamin Mendy charged with 7 counts of rape and 1 sexual assault relating to 5 women.
He's definitely going the big house in.
Yeah, I can't say.
Someone's bitch somewhere.
Don't matter how much money he's got. I don't see him walking away from that, mate.
He'll be someone's bitch soon, very soon.
Yeah. Do you know what, right?
He'd be in a pedo wing, actually, so we're all a lot of weirdos.
Yeah, because he won't be in
general population.
Be high risk.
So he'll be either isolated, which is not good. So, or he'd be with the sex offenders on a pedo.
Nonsense and that.
Yeah.
Good enough for him.
Where he belongs, if it turns out they all
absolutely, mate.
When he's 1 or 2, you're like, footballer. But when he's 7,
he's been charged now as well, which obviously kind of indicates that they've got some level of evidence, doesn't it?
When you don't get remanded as well, they've obviously thought French, African, he could disappear.
He's on his way. But you know, who I feel sorry for, apart from obviously the women, is I feel sorry for. There was a few news publications who every time they reported on the story, they were saying the wrong Mendy. So there's like 4 of them in there, different.
There's the Chelsea player, Chelsea.
Yeah, there's a guy at Chelsea, the keeper, and there's one at Marseille.
Yeah,
but they kept using their photos but Benjamin Mendy's name, and then they'd use the wrong photos. And it was only when those players started calling the papers out, saying, "Hang on a minute, are you saying that like we all look the same sort of thing?" That's disgusting in itself. But
guys, it won't be the first time that happens, and I can trust you, it won't be the last.
But it's like, if you're a journalist, mate, that's like the basic thing, isn't it? Like that's like the basic thing.
They're not football reporters. They don't give a shit about the truth. It's just, let's get this out there. Let's get it out there.
Like the basic thing,
simple mistake. And their view would be of it. Well, they do all look the same, don't they? But they're not going to admit that. They'll say that in the
it's like the basic thing, isn't it? You proofread what you're putting out, and you make sure the photos are of the actual people who you're reporting about. I think I'd be sending them a letter from my lawyer, mate. I would. Right. Yeah. Guys, nice one for joining us as ever. Have a fantastic Christmas. Me and myself and Rod will be back live next Thursday. but you can check out our Qatar World Cup special conversation, whatever you'd like to call it, from Eat Sleep Media Studio on Christmas Day at 3:00. Sack off the Queen. Watch me and Rhodri. You know you want to. Guys, have a great Christmas. Thanks for the support throughout the year. But we are back next week, so don't forget to join us. Rhodri, have a great Christmas, mate. And I'll speak to you anyway. So, for the sake of the video, have a good Christmas. See ya.
Giggs. Giggs. No. Rhodri.
10 toes down, I'll be free until the end.